FUBAR. Rubber ducky. Yep, there's guns there. What's going on? Feel free to say something. Yeah, you like guns? A lot of people like guns. That's okay. What are you doing today? All right. I live in Scotland. Get quite a few people in here from Scotland. What part of Scotland do you live in? Erdai? I'd love to tell you I know where that is, but I don't. Is that northern Scotland, southern Scotland, western, eastern? Northern part. Hey J Dog, how are you doing? What's big for you today, J Dog? Alright. Tomorrow I'll be back posting on my other channel. So this is just an effort to actually put some time up. Yeah, I'll be glad to be able to post there again. Guess it's kind of my fault. I shouldn't have just kind of let this channel lapse, but I have and I did, so. But how late do you have to work? Yeah. He's been quiet. He left a message last night again. He's been quiet now, so we'll see if he if his mom lets him have his computer access again. Well, 5 more hours. You're just getting started. 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, 12s. Eight-hour shift. Huh. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind my asking? I mean, you don't have to answer. Don't feel like you got it. I'm just curious. Sometimes working second shift's okay. If you got kids and stuff at home, it kind of sucks. Oh, you're getting shit on then. That sucks. Yeah, people don't want to pay anymore. It's a shame. They they want you to show up every day. They want you to have good attitude. They want you to, be polite and courteous and work hard, and they don't want to pay you for it. $13 an hour, that gets me showing up when I want to. And it definitely doesn't pay for me to be nice. But it'll get better. I can assume you're probably pretty young yet. El Sancho, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Yeah. I usually work 10s, a lot of times 12s if it's allowed. Don't make a Barrett the start of your collection. Let it get towards, an end goal. There's a lot of things that you'd probably enjoy a whole lot more before owning a 50 cal. However, if you could get something like that PSA that's coming out, or even like that Safe Harbor, it's a single shot, or any of them single shot 50s, you're gonna have just as much fun with that. And actually, to be honest, a lot of them, the bolt action versions, are a lot more accurate than the semi-auto. Semi-auto is fun just to throw some lead though. Yeah. For somebody starting, just getting out into guns, you got to get a good pistol that kind of does it all. Something you can carry every day. Something you can go to the range and practice with and be accurate with. Something that maybe definitely used for home defense. And for me, I always tell people something you could use for competition. And you got to have a good 22 rifle. That's almost a necessity. There's so many things a 22 rifle can be used for. It's a good multi-tool. Right along with that would be a good shotgun. I'm not talking something tactical, bullpups or whatever. I'm talking just a good 12 gauge shotgun, be it, a pump action or a semi-auto. You need a good bolt action rifle. Something 30, 30-06 or 308 or, even like a 7 MMO8. them right there pretty much put you in a position to get anything you want. Yep, that's a Mosin Nagant. Ammo, how are you doing? What's big for today? Test the shoddy. Which one? Oh, that A300. I have a brain lapse there, but yeah, that Beretta A300, right? Yeah. You might beat me to it then. How many guns do I have? I have a lot. Not as many as some people, and a lot more than most. Yeah, I got well over 50. Top 1% of gun owners in the world. Well, I promise I do my share to um, help with the statistics. So there's a lot of people I know that don't own any, so I make sure I own more than enough to help with those numbers. Yeah. I hate this computer. You got slugs for that shotgun, or are you gonna run some buckshot or birdshot or what? Well, it's new, so I'd run some probably some high brass loads. Break it in, get a good box, 25 count of some high brass. Just my opinion, though. Fucking YouTube. No, I didn't. Send me that name again in a text message and I'll pull it up. I'm off tomorrow and Friday, and Monday I took vacation. So I'll have time to watch it. I know it was like Europa, right? Europa something. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Send me a text message though later. Otherwise it'll mess up this halfway through it. It'll mess up this live. Did you see that feet video? I tuned into that channel last night and I was watching. The person had a couple of videos on there. Yeah. Yeah, Triple K. I have a strong feeling they got their channel taken down again, which would be funny. Because I would know, I'm pretty confident that after they had their last channel taken down, that they only really commented on one person's channel. So I'll see later if I know that person has other channels. I'll see if they reach out to me. But it'll be funny if that channel got taken down. I pretty much know who reported it, or I suspect I know who reported it. Judah, how are you? What do you mean, the report info? Yeah, I've been told that too. I know there's a way to find it. I've been kind of trying to find it myself. So I think I would tell you two different 22 rifles to check out. One would be the classic Ruger 1022. You'd never go wrong with that. And the other one would be a Smith & Wesson 1522. They're both really great guns. If you want to go hunting and stuff with it, I would probably lean more towards the 1022 side. But if you want just something you can have a lot of fun with, similar to an AR, you can use AR triggers in it. You can change the butt stocks, you can change the forearms, you can change comps, pistol grip. Then a 1522 is a good option. King Cobra and 22. I want any of the Colt Colt snake guns, Python, the King Cobra, the Anaconda. Um, all of them are kind of, they're not the worst thing on the market, but like, I'm assuming you're talking about the 2011s. You know, any one of them guns you're going to be buying, and with understanding you're going to be putting money into it to make it what you really want. And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. You know, bang for your buck, you're getting a lot more for it than you used to. $1911. If you're gonna get a 1911, I'd tell you just to buy, you know, Kimber, a Springfield Arms, a Colt, something like that. That CZ, what is it, 452, I think it is. That's supposed to be a pretty accurate bolt action 22. Yeah, I figure any of the American-made 1911s, I mean, they're $1,300, $800 to $1,300. So it's not like they're that expensive. So personally, I'd spend a few hundred more and get something like that versus one of the Turkish guns or the Philippine guns. But, you know, bang for your buck. You know, the Smith & Wesson 1911s are decent. Ruger makes good 1911s. I don't know if they still make them. I think they do. Kimber's quality goes up and down. I think right now they're making good guns. I know for a long time they were a hot ticket. Then their production ramped way up, and their quality went down. But the last couple of years they've been putting out pretty good guns. So why do you want another one? Just to get another one? I mean, I understand they have more than one, so you don't really have to justify it. So, Alsancho, I have one of the GSG 1911 22s. It's a decent gun. It works. Inexpensive. They're under 400. Ammo, I guess it kind of depends too. Like when I used to build guns for people, I bought a lot of the Rock Island 1911s. They were cheap. I could get the frame and the slide for, you know, under $400, and then I did all the work to that versus starting with something that cost a lot more. But yeah, I'd take the frame and the slide. I'd do all the millwork and everything, and you know, if somebody didn't care what the slide said, that was a good way to get a really good gun. So I never did a 80%. Like I said, I used to take them, not throw them away, and I'd mill the slide, put front cock insertions in them, put a Bomar or Novak sight in the rear, mill out the front sight and put a dovetail in there. Then I'd remill out the grip safety and be able to put a different grip safety in it, and then whatever else we went from there. I would think that would be one gun that would be on the roster, especially like a Series 70, but I guess I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you guys' stuff works. Yeah, he's in Cali. Now some of them Kimbers that have the crowned bull barrel, so you don't use a barrel bush, and I like them. You get really good accuracy out of them for quite a while. Eventually, though, they start wearing and loosen up. Your brother lives in Los Angeles too, right? I think you were talking about him, talking about his vintage shirts and that type of stuff. What's up, Orange Smoke? What's big for today? What was for supper? Needs to move to Alabama and get damn wife. Smoky. Yeah. Tater tot hot dish. That's alright. I like tater tots. My wife came home and she made me chicken fajitas, grilled chicken fajitas. So after she, put the shit all together, then she pan fried the burrito shell, and that was okay. So tomorrow we'll be back on that other channel. So that'll be nice. Did you get out and do any shooting today, Orange Smoke? Duck fajitas. Duck's alright. I don't think I'd ever thought to try it in a fajita, but I'm gonna let you guys chat for a minute. I gotta run up, use the bathroom. The weather sucked. Went up buddy's house. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry. My belly's rolling. Sancho scrolled back in the chat. Yeah, he was just talking about that. Really? They've been getting pretty crazy with all the censoring. I went on that Utah Dads Live last night, and I sent probably 12 different messages just trying to have a chat. And I don't think he was ignoring it because he responded to one at the end. And then I tried talking more, and either he was ignoring me or they were censoring all this stuff. And I even asked if he was seeing the comments. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Huh. YouTube's on some serious bullshit again, I can tell you that. Yeah, they're absolutely gay. Alright, man. I like how they try to tell people it's all inclusive and they want to, allow people to freely express themselves or engage, but yet they censor people all the time. But that's what I know. What's the weather going to be like tomorrow, Orange Smoke? Going to be any better? Them are threaded too, aren't they? They come with a comp on them. So like I said, I should be able to post on my other channel tomorrow. So tomorrow and probably most of the day on Friday, that's why I took off. Run the mowers up. Yeah. A lot of people shoot them in Steel Challenge. I think they're just a little cheaper, aren't they, than the Rugers? How's the trigger on it? I personally have never fired one, so curious. I still find it amazing that any manufacturer out there, especially for things like a recreational pistol or a target pistol, they're not coming out with a, you know, phenomenal triggers from the factory. Did you record it? Desert Eagles are always fun to play with. That's another gun I don't know if I would tell somebody to buy or not. As once you shoot it a few times, some of the fun is kind of worn off, and then it's just a novelty. Unless you're hunting with it, you know, like I think you said you used to hunt with yours. You know, that's a great thing. But just for a toy, it's uh, John Wicks. How are you? Yeah, he'll be here for just a little bit. My son, my wife, and shit will be home. I don't know, sometime probably 1:45 to 7 o'clock or somewhere in there. I'll shut it off when they get here. Tomorrow I'll be back on the other channel. Did you? Did you get a chance to shoot it? Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised they didn't give you the sights and the coding. They should, you know. It'd be the right thing to do. At least give you a discount on the parts, right? But most people don't see it that way. Did they at least give you a sticker when you got it back? I think a lot of companies dismiss the fact of how something stupid like a little sticker, how how it has an impact on customers. Nobody thinks they want a sticker when they buy a gun until you buy an expensive gun and you don't get a sticker. And it's kind of, you know, they couldn't even throw in a 5-cent sticker. I was always shocked that CZ did that. Yeah, that's gay. With my checkmates when I bought them. So that's CZ's flagship gun. They didn't give you a sticker with them, but the Seymour optic that they include in the package, that came with the sticker. How long did they actually have that from when you sent it in until you got it back? Over 2 months. That's fucking crazy. That's shitty. Really, really shitty. Yeah, that's crazy. That just tells you like what their warranty department's like. I mean, obviously they're making a lot of firearms. There you go. You gotta get a CZ Shadow though, Orange Smoke. Make that put that on the top of your list. You'll enjoy that. That's a nice shooting gun. What brand? You gonna get out and do any more shooting this week, or are you pretty well done? Just a Stoger. Stoger makes good guns though. I mean, they're owned by. It's a subsidy of Beretta and Benelli. They're all in that same under the same umbrella corporation. What's what's cheap? Does that have the external hammers? Is it internal hammers? 200 cheeseburgers. That's not bad then. Yeah. I mean, like I said, they could have at least acknowledged it and offered the work. You know, reduced cost. That would have been the right thing to do. Does that have the double triggers too? I would assume. 26 dual triggers. There you go. Choke tubes or no? That'd be a good pheasant gun, wouldn't it? Fixed chokes, well, it'll work for grouse woodcock. Think pheasant would be too big of a bird for it? Obviously, grouse and woodcock are a lot smaller. There you go. You ever been to South Dakota or North Dakota for pheasant hunting? One of my doctors goes there every year. He keeps inviting me. I think they go to North Dakota for ducks and South Dakota for pheasants. There you go. I definitely like pheasant meat. I think I probably prefer that over duck, but I'll eat duck too. There you go. I've been to South Dakota to shoot prairie dogs. Um, we haven't done that in years and years and years either. It's early 2000s since we did that. For snow geese, yeah. Definitely seems to be on the flyway, that North Dakota, South Dakota. I wanna, and I don't have anyone to go with anymore, but I would like to at some point go hunt them on the Mississippi. There's supposed to be a few good spots. My old duck hunting partner used to go there all the time, and my schedule just never worked when he went, but that is something I'd like to try here, is hit the Mississippi duck hunting. I saw videos he had, and they hammered them. But you guys have any caribou up in Minnesota there? Oh, I bet it's a lot of shooting. What was the bag limit, or the daily limit? No. Huh. I know up in the Upper Peninsula now, and even in northern Wisconsin, they're starting to see caribou. Or elk. Elk. I think it's caribou. No limit on snow goose. That's a lot of shooting. Wisconsin's really weird with goose hunting. Like, they have their interior zone and their exterior zone. And I think daily limits like 3, and max is like 10 or something. And that's 10 in a freezer even. It's not even possession. No, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'm old school on stuff like that. I carry the same projectile I have for decades, and it's just 124 grain Federal Hydroshock plus P. Yeah, that's what I understand. That's what the doctor keeps telling me too. I guess it'd be cool just to go and actually see, but it'd be more fun to be able to shoot. Yeah, I've carried it for years. Like I've said before, I grew up on a farm, so there was a lot of things in my lifetime I had to shoot. Everything from a rat to a horse. Uh, and I can tell you this, like when I had to put my mom's horse down, I hit her right between the eyes. You take the ears and the eyes and you make a cross, and that's the kill spot on a horse. And uh, I mean that mare, her feet came off under her and she dropped, never even twitched. So for me, it's a impressive bullet. I'm not a fan of doing the conversion kits in AR-15s because you're shooting lead bullets, unless you're shooting copper. But most of the time, the cheaper lead bullets that you're going to shoot for 22s, they do a lot of fouling in your AR, and lead sucks to clean out. For the price of a conversion kit, you can buy a 1522. That was what I told him too when he asked. Well, first I told him to get a 1022 or a 1522, and then I told him I thought it was a 452, but it's 457. See, if them companies would make something decent and left-handed, I'd probably have one. Do you reload shotgun shells, orange smoke, or just rifle, pistol? What's up, Fubar? Can you guys hear the dog snoring away? Now he's awake. Who's a good boy? I haven't reloaded a shotgun in years either. Last time I did, it was when I was still shooting 3-gun and I was loading for my Saiga 12. I think it depends on where you get them, but usually somewhere over 250 and under 350, unless you want the break, the takedown versions, which to me seems like a lot of money. And when I bought mine, I want to say it was like $200, but that was a long time ago. I think they were somewhere between 250 and 350, depending on stock, barrel length, options. Yeah, they're not that much. They're a great platform. There's That's one of America's most popular firearms. You know, you got the AR-15, you got 1911s, and you got Ruger 1022s. Them are the top three um, most owned firearms. So the one on the left is um, a Lee Enfield. It's a jungle carbine version that got hard chromed, synthetic stock on it. Then you got the Mosin Nagant, and then the Traditions um, Hawkins there. The uh, the Enfield I actually bought for a wedding present when my mom and stepdad got married, and I bought him that because we still had land we were leasing, and I was going to take him hunting with me, and he didn't have a rifle, so I bought him that for a wedding present. And when he passed away, and then my mom passed away, I mean, obviously I took the gun back, but it's chambered in 308, so it was a 303 that got rechambered. 20 round detachable box magazine, uh, and then the hard chrome finish. I still have the original box of shells I loaded for him. Yeah, that was my oldest took that gun or laid claim to. That was actually the sniper version. So it was re-arsenaled, sent back to the arsenal, and retooled after World War II. But that actually has it's drilled and tapped for the optic mount. But then they went and they welded over it and refinished it. So if you open the bolt, um, my son comes home, I'll do that. But when you open the bolt, you can see the plug screws where they had the scope mount tapped, and after it was re-arsenaled, they filled them in. So that was one of the was a PVX, I think is what they were called. It got to be worth, I mean, a small fortune had they not plugged them back in. But Ammo, I thought you were going shooting. Yeah, the hex barrel. Just pulled up. Do you Ammo? Do you do hourly rates at that range? Do you rent a lane, or are you a member there? Go there whenever. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Orange smoke. That and they foul. You get a lot of lead falling, and even the copper. I mean, 22 caliber is .22, and the ARs are either .223 or .224. So they're a little oversized. The bullet will kind of wobble down the barrel, and then, like you're saying, they're the wrong twist. I think they're usually like a 1 in 10 twist for a Ruger or something, versus the 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 or whatever. Yeah, on the box. Like a lot of them, though, depending on who you're getting, they'll either be marked .223 or .224. Just like 9mm, you'll find .355 or .356. Yeah, just a long time of doing guns. So none of them three guns on the table right now are technically mine. I mean, I guess maybe the 308, the infield there, but the Mosin my son claimed, so that's, I mean, it's his. The muzzle loader I bought for my son Gage.